Hey, I'm KIC. This is Alpha 17 Experimental. Or so they say. This is a different game than you might remember if you were brand new to 7 Days to Die. In some respects, you might be better off than the player who has several hundred or several thousand hours in the game. Not even joking about that. We'll get into a little more of the changes as we go. This is going to be a day one and go playthrough. So if you're looking to see all of the brand new stuff, hi Cat, what are you doing? You're kind of in the way. All the brand new stuff that's in it, I'm sorry, that's not going to be this one. If you want to see what the game actually plays like now, so you have an idea of, what the game actually plays like, weird idea, right? Then you are in a perfect spot. I'm going to find out in really short order here if the game is working or if I'm experiencing a game-breaking bug. I got to tell you, there's only, I would say, one game-breaking bug right now. And if I can find another bird's nest, I can tell you whether we're experiencing it and whether or not I need to restart. Ah, geez, the game is so different now. I don't even know where to begin with explaining how different it is. It just is flat out different. You got a right click and a left click. That's a right click right there. That's a left click. It's kind of your quick attack and your power attack. To do them. There you go, quick attack, power attack. That's just the way the game works now. I kind of like that. That's a fun little change. It gives you a little bit of variety with your combat. It gives you some choices in terms of what you want to do, what you're trying to accomplish, how much stamina do you want to expend? That's a big one right there. How much stamina do you want to expend? Well, you got some decisions to make here. Let's go ahead and pop the bedroll down. We're going to just blast through some of these early game quests because someone's got to do them. I guess. I don't know. Do we not have... We need 2 more stones for the axe. My bad. Hold on. Here, let's put you in there. We don't need you. You might have noticed already that the backpack looks different. If you have not kept up on what has changed in the game, then oh my goodness. If it's been, let's say a couple of alphas since you played, you're not going to recognize this game beyond that it pretty much looks the same. It does not work the same. Not even in the slightest. 17 feathers? 18 feathers. We are good. 17 or 18 feathers? Nope, we're fine. Okay. I am not experiencing the game-breaking bug. Well, let's talk about that, and then we can move on and get some real work done here. The game-breaking bug I'm referring to is an instance where the loot that you find in containers is the exact same. On the one hand, that might sound great if you happen to open a container and it has a pistol and 5 rounds in it. And, I don't know, maybe something else. Great, right? Not so great when you open up a container and it has a pair of shorts. And you open up another of that exact same container, because that's the key. It's the same type of container. And then you have shorts. And you open another one of that same type of container. And you guessed it, you have more shorts. Yeah, that is pretty game-breaking. Not going to lie. But that's okay. I have about, I don't know, half a dozen, maybe a little more hours into this particular version of the game, and I've only experienced that one time, so, I don't think you're necessarily going to have it happen every time. It's just something to be aware of in case it does. We'll talk as we go a little bit more about some of the other things going on here. One of the best ways you can get experience in a hurry, except it's not that much, but it does add up quickly, is punching grass. Yeah, 10 experience a pop. Might not seem like much, but take down 70 pieces of grass, that's equivalent to killing a zombie. It's not bad. Okay, I'm just making sure we have enough grass fibers here so we can blast through all these things. Hood, gloves, pants, shirt. We're going to need to wait a moment so that we can get the shoes in there. There we go. That was the sound I needed to hear. And shoes, and wait just a second. Put on the gloves. We're just going to run around like a crazy person with only partial clothing because why not? Man, so many things to talk about. There are so many things that are different. There's no way I can talk about everything. The biggest change that I can tell you is that this is now a game of patience. If you're not familiar with my play and how I do things in this game, prior to Alpha 17, I was just a reckless wild man. I think that's about the best way I can say it. I make bad decisions. I run into buildings. I engage with all sorts of zombies. It doesn't matter. I don't care. That's not the case anymore. I will not do that anymore. It does not work to your benefit to do that. It is, in fact, a bad idea. Just straight up a bad idea. You don't want to do that, so don't. You got to take your time now. It'll pay off if you do. My bad, I hit escape one too many times. One of the other biggest changes I got to tell you about is, check this out. I'm going to go click, click. Yeah, there you go. Did you get what I did? Click, click. I mean, you have to trust me when I went click, click. And when I say click, click, I mean literally. I clicked it twice that quickly. Yeah, input is not flushed during animations. Another thing to get used to. Is that a bug? Is that intentional? I don't know. It's just something to be aware of. The main thing, though, like I said, is this is a game of patience now. You don't want to go running around like an idiot, like I usually do, and just dive into everything. That's a good way to die. And this game is now incredibly unforgiving. When you die, you're going to lose maximum health. You're going to be telling me, like, dude, that already happened before. Yeah, I know. It was called wellness in the old one. I don't know that wellness still exists in so much as the same idea, but when you die, it's going to go down. Guarantee it. Problem is, if you keep dying, it keeps going down. I don't know how low it goes. It definitely goes below 50, and it even goes below 30. So, don't die. It's not good for you, as we sometimes say in the chat. We're going to go check out a POI here, but the big thing that I want to tell you too is make sure you have a lot of arrows. Engaging with the Zeds up close and personal like, while it works, and I'll show you how it works, is not the best way to stay alive, long term at least. Let's go check out a POI. There are going to be a ton of zombies in here. That is also a new change. You're welcome. Tons and tons of zombies wherever you go. You cannot get away from them. You must deal with them. I'm so sorry. The end. Let's find a good building to go into. And I guess this one isn't bad, but a little concerned that we're not going to have enough arrows to deal with everything. Although, as you will also see if you're not yet familiar with it, we're going to get some of these arrows back. Here, let's just grab a couple more stones and we're going to go run in. I hate that the first 7 minutes have been kind of a waste, but you got to see everything and have some context. Otherwise, it makes no sense. I see a landmine, do you? Can we... I'm not going to mess with that. I'm just not going to mess with it. I have no idea what we can and cannot do with regard to those just yet. That'll be something to find out another day. Can we get in here? Is the door unlocked? No. Okay. I'm going to say if the door's locked, we ignore it for now. We don't really have what it takes to punch through metal. That's just going to take a while. We're going to save that can. We are not going to scrap it just in case we need to have it for other purposes, such as making water. If you see me grabbing lots and lots of feathers, or maybe more generally, going to birds' nests, food and ammunition. It really is that simple. Eggs, yeah. Eggs not a bad thing to have right now. Got a parking lot, we got a hardware store. Let's go to the hardware store. Maybe we'll get lucky and find an early day weapon. Weapon? Tool. Alright, let's check out some combat. How you doing, sir? That's my favorite thing right there of the new alpha. If you are not seeing what I'm seeing, look at his face. He has an arrow sticking out of it. And yes, you can get that arrow back. Not even joking, that's my favorite thing. You're not dead. But, oops, that was a terrible shot. Notice how quickly they get back up. They do not mess around anymore. The zombies are not really here for your amusement. Although they still kind of are. They're really not. Tons of zombies and all the POIs now. Get used to that. This hardware store, by the time we're done, is going to have, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 potentially zombies in it. Between the bottom floor and the the top floor. I'm counting this zombie as one of them because I think she came from the back. I'm guessing she heard the noise and she came to inspect, and now she's got several arrows sticking out of her face, and she's also dead. We'll take all these back. Did I notch any into a wall? I don't think so. It is pretty fun when you're running around and the next thing you know, you see arrows just sticking out of things. I don't know, sticking out of the walls, sticking out of refrigerators, out of vending machines, out of cash registers, all that sort of stuff. That's pretty fun. Hi, sir. Lots of zombies in corners like that now. Do not go through a door without first checking what is left and right immediately of the door. You will thank me for that later. Clearing a POI now takes a long time. I mean, unless you're able to get in and get out without running into anyone. I've not really had good luck doing that. I've done it a little bit, but not a whole lot. So that corner is clear. Let's check over here. We got a cowboy. Go ahead and put an arrow in him. We still have sneak damage. You can now increase your sneak damage. The only problem is I don't think you can increase your sneak damage with ranged weapons. I think you can only do it with melee weapons. That's going to be a perk that does that. In case you're not aware, now let's go back outside. I'll show you a little bit of up close and personal. Before I get back to the perk thing, here's your left click. That's your weak regular swing, and that's your power swing with the right click. Power swing is definitely where it's at if you want to do some up close and personal combat. You just got to make sure you hit. Of note, the attack range is a little different than you might remember. Zombies specifically do not have the reach they once did. Not at all. Here we go. See, there's another 5 zombies coming out of there. That's 6, 7 total at least. That zombie's toast. We can get back to some arrow action here. The way the game works now, too, it's strictly experience-based in terms of you get experience for doing things, you get experience for killing zombies, etc. It's not about leveling up a particular skill or anything along those lines. That really doesn't do you any good. You can't do that. You don't get, skill 20 in fletching or archery or whatever, any of that stuff. It doesn't work that way now. It's a different game. It is a much different game, and as such, it requires a different approach. It requires a different mindset for how you play it. I'm still working on that. I'm still working on it, but overall, I think, generally speaking, I'm kind of figuring it out. I don't know that this is a particularly friendly game to solo players anymore. Whoa, hello. Jumping zombies, that's a new thing, by the way. Yeah. If you think that guy's got hops, boy, wait until you see the rest. Go ahead and put one in that guy just to give him something to think about. Nope. That arrow, if I'm lucky, will be stuck in the wall. Let's go ahead and save a couple of swings here. Or a couple of arrows, rather. Big guys you still don't want to mess around with. They will still wreck your face, so, don't mess around with them too much. Be careful of them. If you wait long enough, and I'll let it wait on those guys, well, there you go. The arrows that were left behind will eventually fall out as the bodies go away. Since we still don't have anything proper where, there are gore blocks or that sort of thing. You remember gore blocks? Yeah, that was a failed experiment. I didn't think it was totally failed, though. I liked the idea. Just the implementation needed a little more refinement. Here you go, sir. We'll take that experience. You can see we're getting 700 experience a pop over here. It's a really good way to get some early game experience. Start building up the levels. In case you're wondering how close we are to a level, if you have not noticed already, blue bar right above the tool belt. As soon as that one gets full, we'll get a level. Ding, ding, ding. We win. Definitely check the corners. I'm not even joking about that. Getting back to the perks and stuff, because we're going to be coming around on that quickly here with a level. As I was trying to say, it's definitely a different game. The way skills work, the way... Well, you have attributes now. You didn't have attributes back in the old days. Check that out. Got an iron fire axe. I don't know that we're going to be able to do much with it. We're going to need a repair kit or two, I think. Forged iron? I don't know. We're going to need something to repair that. We'll see how it goes. Iron pickaxe. That's cool. Even weapons and things, they don't work the same way. It's totally different now. I should be checking just to make sure there's no one coming down there. Kind of trying to do this in a way that I can keep an eye on the staircase. Little yellow eyeball in the corner. If you missed that, we'll bring that up in a minute. Wow, look at that. That's a quality 2 garden hoe. Let's talk about items right now, since we seem to be in that stage of the game. That garden hoe is a good example of how stuff works now. So, no longer... Wow, look at that. Oh my gosh, there's so many things to talk about. So many things to talk about. Here, let's start taking care of some of this crap. You need to go away. Die. I don't know what to do with that. Guess we could upgrade that guy. I don't know. Anyway, we got to talk about upgrades and stuff. There's so many things to talk about. This is just, it gets crazy here. Let's eat this. And that'll give us another can to work with. I'm going to drop the polymer. I don't think we're ready to do anything with the polymer just yet. We get the garden hose somewhere. Let's get this guy down here. That takes care of some of our stuff. I'm going to scrap that pipe. We don't need it. We're going to scrap the rebar frames. It's way too early in the game for them to do anything at all for us, sadly. And then let's go get some more arrows going. There we go. We're not too encumbered at this point. That's fine. Let's talk about encumbrance, then we'll get back to how skill points and all that work. Maybe we'll have a level ready by then. Encumbrance is a fun thing. You might have noticed that you cannot carry as much crap as you used to. That is a thing that is happening. That is indeed the direction the game has gone. Whether you like it or not, that's the way it is. Now, I suppose modders might change that, but for now, that's the way the game works. Madam, sir, if you guys would work over here, this would be great. One of the things I was starting to mention, too, by the way, attack ranges are a little different. Zombies don't have quite the same attack range they used to, which is to say, it's a little more reasonable. I, for one, welcome this change. It is a considerable change. Massive change, if I do say so. Just trying to keep track of all the zombies out here. Remember what I said about the POIs have a lot of zombies? Look how many emerged from this. This is not good, by the way. I need more arrows. I'm really taking a risk here by doing this. But we don't have any arrows, so whatever, it's fine. Look at that, there's level 2. We can talk about perks and all that stuff in just a moment. Let's get rid of all these zombies. Hello, game. Nice hitch in your giddy-up right there. Alright, these guys are all dead. They don't drop loot much anymore. Incredibly rare if they do. I am yet to see a single zombie drop any loot. Attack range is much better. We have zombies, tons of them everywhere, etc., etc. Here, we'll put a arrow in her. Hi, how you doing? You're gonna take a swing. There we go. Okay, good. Let's talk about some skills and perks and all that jazz. Hey, food. We'll take that. We haven't even talked about the change to food and water. So many things to talk about. We haven't even talked about encumbrance. I was going to talk to you about encumbrance. Let's talk about that right quick. When you're encumbered, you move slower, you take more stamina to do things. It just is bad. You don't want to do that, so don't be encumbered. I'm going to scrap that because I don't need dog food. To get it so they have more slots, you have to spend a perk on that or a skill point on that. We can do that right now. We can put one into Pack Mule, and we will do that. There we go. We have spent our point. We now have 4 more slots open, which means we are no longer encumbered. We can drop that clay soil. We don't need that. Magazines are a little different now. They give you a 30-minute buff. It's kind of cool. Gives you 1 level of the Fortitude attribute. I don't know when to use these just yet. I mean, I haven't really run into a situation where I've had the thought of, you know, I could really use that buff right now. That would make life so much better. I don't know. I'm sure it'll come up. Let's go check out this right here. Chairs are no longer overpowered. They do not stop zombies from getting around them anymore. They don't just stand there behind the chair and let you totally brutalize them. Kind of a shame, but also I'm glad to see that. It was kind of silly that you could just completely abuse them. Holding a knocked arrow will now take stamina to do that. Can give you a quick demonstration. Watch stamina. It's going down, going down, going down. There you go. So you don't want to do this all day long, especially if you're low on stamina in that moment. Weapons are a little different now, too. They don't really do much in terms of damage differences from level to level. We haven't even really talked about quality of stuff. Quality is a little different. Thank you, Adobe Creative Cloud. I will update you later. Weapons have quality 1 through 6 now. There's no longer 1 through 600. The higher the level, the more modifications you can put on an item, which potentially means the more damage it can do by way of being modified to be a better item. The biggest change between levels, aside from being able to modify stuff now, which is a different and new mechanic, is that the durability goes up with the higher level items. I might be able to show you that. Let's see. This has a durability of 200, and the garden hoe has a durability of 260. Now, I don't know what a level 1 garden hoe would have for durability, so that might not be a particularly good example. But whatever. We'll figure it out as we move along. The thing that is way different and that you should have picked up on by now is that it's a much slower paced game in terms of how you move along, how you get around, how you do things. Yep, that's a problem. Let's talk about health. You no longer go back to full health when you get hit. Even if you take drugs and all those sorts of things, eat food, etc. It doesn't matter. You're not going to regain full health. It doesn't work that way. If you want to regain full health, you now have to use one of these guys, first aid bandage, or you are going to need a first aid kit. Sorry, it's just how it works. If you don't believe me, or if you want to find out more for yourself, go back into, I guess, your basic survival stuff, and then you can go into all of these guys. First aid, there you go. Use bandages or med kits to restore your max health. Now, I should probably check, and I'm not positive about this. I've been operating under the assumption that you need to use the first aid bandages, but maybe you can use a regular bandage. Let's find out. Vitamins, by the way, you can use in things now. You can use it in fort bites or recog, aside from giving you, well, they're different now. I mean, here you go. +1 strength, fortitude, agility, +360 stamina, +45 health, -36% recovery rate. That gives you a boost for, I don't even know how long it is. An hour, 2 hours? I'm not quite sure. I want to use this regular bandage wherever you are. Regular bandage, right there. I don't think that did anything, if I had to guess. Max health recovery. You're not really going on. Nope, it did not go up at all, although we do have a sprained leg, which is exciting. Ah, my goodness. What do we need? A splint. What do we need for a splint? Duct tape. I knew it. I've played this long and have not had a sprained leg. And I play for 20 minutes, and now I do. Ah, crawlers, I still despise you guys. You're not cool. I don't like you. We're not friends. I need a splint. This is going to be bad. You know what? Scrap those guys. They're not going to really do us any good. It's going to be a long time before you see me using a crossbow. It's just the way the game works now. We will take those, because we can use those. Holy crap, guys. What are you doing? What did you do over here? You exploded a car. Why did you do that? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with these guys? Oh, man, we're getting close to the middle of the day here. It's 3 o'clock. We're going to have some run-and zombie action here before too long. I think on this note, we have a lot more things we can talk about, but I'm just going to wrap it up for now. And I don't think there's anything else over here. I mean, we still need to make some frames, so I guess I can make a few frames. We're going to need those guys down here. I'll deal with the encumbrance for the moment. But I'm going to get out of here. I'll catch you on the next one. We'll talk some more about some of these changes and just see how we progress. But basically, if you're seeing this, theoretically, this should be out now. This, the operative word there being Alpha 17, should be available. It should be something you have to opt in as a beta. So if you want to play it, go look for that in Steam. You should be able to download it, and you can experience all of the Alpha 17 alphaness and all of its experimental glory. So I'll catch you in the next one. Tom, thanks for watching. See you later.